Hi, my name's Hannah Windhorst, and I did my project on Ford Motor Company. So Ford was established in 1896 by Henry Ford, and the current 2019 vehicle lineup consists of sedans, SUVs and crossovers, trucks, and a line of commercial vehicles as well. So to outline the mission, vision, and core values of Ford, the mission statement is one team, one plan, one goal, which falls in line with their One Ford plan that came into play after the recession of 2008. Their vision statement is people working together as a lean global enterprise to make people's lives better through automotive and mobility leadership. And their core values fall in line with their mission statement. So under the one team section, it encourages people to work together to make Ford a global enterprise in the automotive industry. One plan outlines Ford's plan to restructure to meet current demand and expedite development of their new products to give customers the value they desire. And one goal outlines that Ford strives to be as profitable as they can. So the Ford's competitors are most notably called the Big Three. They consist of Ford Motor Company, General Motors Company, which contains Chevrolet, Buick, Cadillac, and GMC, and FCA Group, which contains Fiat, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and other smaller brands. And in terms of stock value alone, the closest competitor that Ford has among these three is FCA Group. The target market for Ford is the middle class. And Ford, based on their vision statement and values, indicates that they often take a more forward-thinking approach. And this is derived from the section of the vision statement that states automotive and mobility leadership. And the key to Ford creating a competitive advantage is correctly implementing their mission statement, as mentioned before. So the industry is the auto manufacturing industry. The United States has one of the largest auto manufacturing industries in the world, and within that, Ford is the fifth largest car manufacturer overall. So in conducting a SWOT analysis of Ford, some strengths that were identified were a strong brand image, loyal customers, and a global foothold in terms of supply chain. Some weaknesses were that they have less production facilities than their competitors. They have a small research and development budget. They follow competitors frequently because they cannot be as innovative due to their lower research and development budget. And they're eliminating their line of sedans in the near future. Some opportunities that were identified were that they could open more dealerships and increase their marketing to expand globally even more than they already have. They could save money from eliminating their line of sedans and put that into the research and development budget to become more innovative within the industry. And they could expand their supply chain to increase economies of scale and reduce costs. Finally, the threats that were identified consist of very strong competitive rivalry, the driverless car movement, and the volatile nature of the oil industry and how that could drive the cost of operating an internal combustion engine like many of Ford's vehicles have. So an industry analysis indicates that some trends are more electric vehicles throughout the industry, more driverless vehicles, and more implementation of ride-sharing apps. In conducting a Porter's Five Forces analysis, some things that were identified were that competitive rivalry is a very strong force on Ford. The bargaining power of suppliers is a weak to moderate force. The bargaining power of buyers is a moderate force. The threat of new entrants is a weak force, and the threat of substitutes is a weak to moderate force. So with that being said, the most pressure that is put on Ford comes from the competitive rivalry. So a recommendation here is to continue to electrify the fleet, as they already have 3 different models of sedans that are either hybrids or electric vehicles, and they should focus on research and development to develop a network of charging stations to power their current electric vehicles as well as ones that they will be developing in the future. So a value chain analysis indicates that they should continue to manage their primary activities well as they have been, and to make sure that the customer experience is consistent throughout all Ford businesses, so dealerships, manufacturing, plants, everything like that. And then they should automate non-customer related activities to reduce human error and expedite the process. So that would save them money while also not taking away from their customers' experience. So a financial analysis was done for Ford as well as their competitors, and the green blocks indicate the best of the three based on the given ratio. The yellow indicates the middle, and the red indicates the worst performance of the three. So, supporting my claim earlier, which stated that the companies that were in closest competition were Ford and FCA Group, you can also see that here in that Ford and FCA Group both have much more green and red in comparison to one another versus General Motors, which falls very much in the middle of the three companies. So to elaborate on this, Ford has better financial performance when it comes to current assets and liabilities, whereas FCA Group has better financial performance when it comes to long-term assets and liabilities. So to promote better performance overall at Ford, they should increase their sales volume and focus on production. So, and also based on the financials, Ford has grown consistently over the past 3 years. So these ratios are only going to continue to improve. Their current strategy, Ford uses a generic cost leadership strategy, and they're able to do so because they don't have highly priced luxury brands to produce like the other two companies, such as Cadillac with General Motors and other smaller but luxury brands under FCA Group. They're moving away from producing sedans to reduce costs. So that also falls in line with their generic cost leadership strategy as well. Ford also has a complementary strategy, which is to develop hybrids and electric vehicles to compete in the market and, as mentioned before, with the current industry trends. And with this strategy, Ford acts as a fast follower, very much so in the industry, given that, as mentioned before, they have a very limited research and development budget, so they're not able to innovate as much, so they often follow their competitors and their innovations. When it comes to strategy execution, Ford's culture emphasizes corporate social responsibility and ethical behavior in all strategy execution, and they strive to be as transparent in their hiring and training processes as possible. They are structured as a corporation with a top-down hierarchy of leadership. So a recommendation for this section is to develop a specialized team of strategists to implement all their strategies that have been approved by the upper management. So when it comes to diversification at Ford, they have been developing the technology to eventually release a driverless vehicle. They currently have a ride-sharing platform. They have invested in a bike-sharing service, and they have the Ford Pass app, which allows drivers to view parking options prior to arriving at their destination and reminds drivers of necessary maintenance on their vehicle. So a recommendation here would be for Ford to partner with Amazon, where Amazon has distribution centers. So in this recommendation, Amazon drivers would receive a discount on Ford vehicles, and this would be good advertising for Ford as they would have more vehicles on the road, and it would encourage people to become Amazon drivers. So both companies would benefit from this recommendation. Ford has expanded into foreign markets via direct exporting and joint ventures. When it comes to their internal operations, one of Ford's best practices is their supply chain. The information systems that Ford has in place are the Ford Production System, which strengthens the company relationship with suppliers, and another information system called Order to Delivery, which strengthens the relationship with customers by reducing delivery time on their products. Managers can submit ideas from team meetings to be considered for company-wide implementation, which gives the lower level employees a voice. So that is very motivating for the team structure at Ford. Ford ranks second of the big three in terms of executive compensation. So a recommendation for this section is to listen to the lower level employees and have very open lines of communication so that if they're unsatisfied with their compensation based upon the work that they have performed, Ford would then restructure to keep the employees' interests in mind and keep their employees satisfied. So to touch on Ford's policies on ethics, responsibility, and sustainability, they have the Right Way app, which provides all employees access to company and compliance information in 7 different languages. They have a code of conduct handbook published online, and Ford has been recognized as one of the most ethical companies for the 8th year in a row. So for this section, a recommendation would be to open the lines of communication again and have periodic check-ins to make sure employees are all abiding by Ford standards, and this would help issues be addressed more quickly and more effectively. So with all of that being said, the main strategic issue that I have identified within Ford is that they're phasing out their line of sedans. And I believe that this is not wise because they would lose their competitive advantage because other companies would still be offering sedans. So where now they are competing on all lines of vehicles, they would eliminate that line of vehicles so that every consumer who desired to purchase a sedan would automatically go to any other company. Ford wouldn't be an option anymore. But that being said, they would still need to manufacture parts for the vehicles to be repaired for up to 10 years after the last vehicle was produced. So that being said, if they decide to eliminate their sedans in 2020, by 2030, they'd still need to be producing products for all of those vehicles that they wouldn't be making any money off of anymore. So a recommendation here is that Ford should continue producing sedans, but also electrify many of the sedans that they continue to produce, because this would give them a much stronger competitive advantage because other companies within the industry are not taking that approach. So in conclusion, for 3 to 5 years from now, Ford will be much more technologically savvy if the recommendations outlined within this presentation are followed, and they'll be able to be much more innovative as well. More processes will be automated, and company culture will lend itself to much more satisfied and better working employees. Thank you.